From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, February 22nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.51 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,324 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $36, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,940. Antiwar.com reports the rebel-held Damascus suburb of Eastern Ghouta continues to get pounded by Syrian forces while the rebels have launched intermittent shelling hitting targets in the capital city. The death toll continues to rise. Over the past 72 hours, at least 310 people have been killed in the area with over 1,500 wounded. The wounded include over 700 in dire need of treatment, which naturally overwhelmed the local hospitals. The UN and other aid groups are pushing for a ceasefire on humanitarian grounds as the situation continues to worsen, and civilians desperately need to be evacuated from some of the most heavily targeted areas. Getting aid into Eastern Ghouta also needs to be a priority, with a substantial convoy arriving last week and raising hopes for a new influx, but the recent flurry of airstrikes means that more convoys simply can't safely get in.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports Venezuelans reported losing an average of 24 pounds in body weight last year, and almost 90% now live in poverty, according to a new university study on the impact of a devastating economic crisis and food shortage. The annual survey, published on Wednesday by 3 universities, is one of the most closely followed assessments of Venezuelans' well-being amid a government information vacuum, and shows a steady rise in poverty and hunger in recent years. Over 60% of Venezuelans surveyed said that during the previous 3 months they had woken up hungry because they did not have enough money to buy food. About 1/4 of the population was eating 2 or fewer meals per day, according to the study. Last year, the 3 universities found that Venezuelans said they had lost an average of 18 pounds during 2016. This time, the study's dozen investigators surveyed 6,168 Venezuelans between the ages of 20 and 65 across the country of 30 million people. After winning the presidency in 1999, leftist President Hugo Chavez was proud of improving Venezuela's social indicators due to oil-fueled welfare policies. But his successor, President Nicolas Maduro's rule since 2013 has coincided with a deep recession due to failed state-led economic policies and the plunge in global oil prices. Wednesday's study flagged Venezuelans' deteriorating diets, which are deficient in vitamins and protein, as currency controls restrict food imports, hyperinflation eats into salaries, and people line up for hours to buy basic things like flour. Maria Ponce, one of the study's investigators, told a news conference at the Andres Bello Catholic University in the outskirts of Caracas, income is being pulverized. This disparity between the rise in prices and the population's salaries is so generalized that there is practically not a single Venezuelan who is not poor. The study calculated the poverty rate from 13 different indicators such as income and access to services. If the average of these indicators was above 25%, investigators defined the person as poor. The study showed that 87% of people in Venezuela, one of Latin America's wealthiest nations back in the 1970s, were now living in poverty. That was a rise from 82% in 2016 and just 48% in 2014. The Venezuelan government has not released data on poverty since the first half of 2015, when the National Statistics Institute reported a poverty rate of 33%. Prices in Venezuela rose 4,068% in the 12 months to the end of January, according to the estimates by the country's opposition-led National Assembly, broadly in line with independent economist figures. The government did not respond to a request for comment on the study, but its supporters often accuse academics of exaggerating data and being in league with the opposition. Maduro blames the country's problems on an economic war waged by the opposition and business leaders with help from Washington.
Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.